live button. I
My
smashed it as
phone
hard as
just
I could.
vibrated.
Huh?
My phone just vibrated. That means we're live.
I thought you said your car just vibrated. I thought that somebody was just going to shoot you or something.
Nah, we're
Do
good.
they have drive-bys up there in Daly City?
That's a good question. I know that they probably have them everywhere, to be honest.
Well, you just went black, so maybe that already happened.
I'm trying to get
There you are.
For some reason, Chrome likes to randomly freeze on me, so
Wow.
yeah. Okay, I got chat. Don't expect me to type very much, people. I'm straddling my phone in my lap, and I'm holding a can of fruit. So this is gonna be real fun.
Sounds like a Jimmy Swaggart moment.
Yeah. I really just don't
get pulled over with a hooker in the car or what?
I probably have the equivalent of a dead body's worth of crap in my trunk, so.
Hey, Handy Outdoor Nerd, VV3D is in the house. TK, what's up? We got Theory in here. We got Paul. How you doing? My goodness, the usual suspects are here. We're good to go.
Yeah, BV. I'm streaming from inside Jimmy's camper. I'm just kidding. I'm actually streaming from inside my car because my landlady gets up at like 6 in the morning. In her bedroom and my bedroom, there's a very, very thin wall that blocks like no sound between the two. So just to be nice, and because I literally just rolled up in the driveway and threw my groceries in the fridge, I'm streaming from the car tonight. So it's gonna be fun.
With the thin walls like that, that doesn't make any fun.
No, I can literally hear whatever the crap the neighbors are doing at 2 in the morning. I'm like, I don't care. At least it's not as bad as Grandma's old house where you can hear everything going on, but it's still not fun. But then again, for what I'm paying for a room, it's
all good.
At the end of the day,
what are you?
My $2 can of fruit.
Did you eat anything other than fruit today?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just having this because I know it'll push me through the stream and the few things I need to get done, and then I can crash.
Cool. I see Aunt Nancy just came in. How you doing, Aunt Nancy? Thank you for joining.
So what is the title for tonight's stream?
There is no title.
Oh, great. This is going to be fun.
This is roast Jimmy and Calvin time.
I should have gone to Target and got some popcorn on my way. Darn it.
No, we just want to see you keep putting those peaches or whatever that is in your mouth. That was a big one, man.
Oh, yeah. I scored with this one. I like them big.
You're going down on that bottle of fruit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness.
So, for everybody who really just doesn't care to hear this, but for everybody's information, I will be down in Jimmyville next Saturday and Sunday. This is going to be fun.
Now, is it this coming Saturday and Sunday or next Saturday and Sunday?
This coming, because my poor car is overdue for an oil change. Okay. And I want to get that done before I throw like another 500 plus miles on the thing to take it to Southern California to do an oil change on it down there. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get it done now, because now that I'm commuting about 40 miles each way to work twice a week, plus probably about the 20 miles I do around the city, it does add up. And I figure it's better to, I mean, I know that it's ideal to change your oil every 1,000 intervals, but I also figure I'm not as bad as those people that never change it, but I want to get it done sooner than later so I don't forget and, you know,
become that. I feel like I had to do for my old boss, and I just told him, you know, let me throw one of the high mileage oil filters on there because apparently you can't get your oil changed on time.
Honestly, when I change my oil, I would just throw the high mileage filter on there, even though I change it every oil change cycle. I just figured, why not? If the thing supposedly handles it for a longer period of time, not a bad idea.
True.
And they only cost a couple bucks more, so.
Yeah, I mean, you step up from what, $4 up to $6 or something like that.
Yeah, let's think really hard. $2 difference on an oil filter equals potentially longer engine life equals money really well spent.
If Calvin goes past 3,000 miles, the oil bypass doesn't kick in on the oil filter and ruin his engine.
Yeah, pretty much. I like my car. I want to keep my car.
Yeah, that's one thing about the oil filters. If you get the cheaper ones, they're good for about 2,500 to 3,000 miles. And then the bypass kicks in because it can't hold any more gunk in it. So if you get the better, more expensive ones, then they actually have more capacity. They got more pleats in it or whatever, so they can actually hold a lot more junk before the bypass kicks in. Because once the bypass kicks in, it's not a filter anymore.
Yeah, it's just a hunk of dirty cardboard and metal that's doing absolutely squat.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Paul is asking if I have the Creality 3D Ender Pro 3D printer. Unfortunately, I do not.
You need to show yourself out the GearBest more, dude.
No, I'm not whoring myself out to GearBest no more. If Creality ever wants to work with me, I'd be more than happy to work with Creality. But as far as going the GearBest route, I'm done with it. I'm not going to do it no more. I've fully decided I'm willing to work with companies who manufacture the products. As far as the companies who just resell, not so much. I just can't bring myself to whore myself like that.
I don't blame you.
Use my GearBest affiliate link. Oh, and you can get this and get that. And I'm over that. I don't mind doing an affiliate link with the company that wants to send the printer or send the product or whatever. But as far as doing the affiliate link through GearBest, I'll do an Amazon affiliate link because I know Amazon stands behind the return policies and all that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But that's about as far as resellers go, and even that, I'm not doing anything for Amazon.
Well, I mean, you look at, and I'm gonna play a slight devil's advocate here, but it does not change the viewpoint that we have in our society of that email that Angus was sent from somebody at GearBest. I can understand there was probably some, lost in translation stuff.
Okay, but the first one, okay, misinterpretation of the email. The second one, that was going a little bit far.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I said in my tweet to the whole thing, and in paraphrase, I pretty much just said the problem with affiliate links anymore is everybody's trying to shove them down everybody's throat. Kind of like that one person that joins some MLM marketing thing and has to get like 20 people by the end of the month to buy their crap so that way they can move to the next level. That's what it's pretty much turned into with people in their affiliate links. It's not like me where it's like, if you want to check out this stuff and purchase it through my link here, feel free. If you don't, I don't give a crap. These people are like, oh, you must buy it through my affiliate link. And it's like, come on, just get over it. There's so many people with affiliate links anymore. It's like I'd have to literally have like a spin the wheel of whose affiliate link do I use today? I mean, it's like, come on, whatever.
So Brian, BV3D asks, so how do you intend to whore yourself out? More than likely on Kern Street. That's kind of the way things are going at this point. No, I'm not. Or I could just say shill for RosmanGroup.com.
Literally, he puts in the Sears Auto Center advertisement on Facebook, some sale thing, and then don't delay, buy today. And I'm all like, oh gosh, no.
I did not say buy today. I did not say that. I did not go that far with it.
Whatever. It was along the lines of a store.rossmangroup.com advert, and I was just about dying laughing when I saw that.
Guilty.
It doesn't even plead the fifth on that. Wow.
Theory's asking, does anyone ever get offered filament for reviews? Yes and no. The growing deal is buy a roll of filament on Amazon, and then we'll refund you for that roll of filament after you give us a positive review on our page on Amazon. Instead of saying, okay, well, here's the filament, and then say whatever you want to say. It says it's like we're waiting to hear what you're going to say before we give you your money back. And I'm done with that.
Totally not potential for bias at all in that.
Yeah, I'm done with that. I have one company that has been very faithful for helping me out, and they support me a lot. Is AMZ 3D. They're the ones who that they'll take and they'll send me filament just willy nilly. They'll just here be a roll show up, and it's like thank you. Now I get I've got that roll to keep going. They have saved my neck so many times. I'm very thankful to them.
I mean, literally, Jimmy's address is the RA label on the Amazon package. So when somebody goes to return the filament, it doesn't go to AMZ. It just gets dropped off at Jimmy's place.
No, there's actually, I think there's several people that they have doing that. I think it all depends on where you are, and it gets shipped.
Got it.
The different ones. Because a while back, there was actually a thing where they actually came out and said, if anybody doesn't mind use filament, we would like to take and send you some. And I think that's where everybody kind of got in at that point.
I need to talk to AMZ about that to see if I can't get Ashley into that program so she can get a few rolls out of the deal. I'll talk to them about that and see if they're game or not. Because the reality is, if you're just doing a bunch of prop stuff that you're just going to paint over, who cares what the color is?
In fact, I need to contact them, contact my friend over there, because there was a roll that came the other day that somebody had returned that, I kid you not, over 3/4 of it was gone. And they returned it and got a full refund from what I understand. And it's like, man, that's, I understand when somebody does a print and they're like, oh, I don't like it, and they send it back. But when they use the majority of it, that's wrong. That's wrong in so many ways.
Ditto to that.
And the other thing too is there's this misconception among people that if you drop your roll of filament and it gets twisted into itself, that you're supposed to just return it. And that's not the right thing to do. I mean, you bought the filament, you dropped it, take the time and unravel the filament.
You're asking too much of people. You're asking too much. They can't do that.
No, I guess not. I guess it's less like, I dropped it. It's all on you that I dropped it. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, do you want me to give my little spiel about the joys of dealing with people in the shop class today? And don't get me wrong, some of them are really good, some of them are not so great.
Right after we say hello to Red Light 34, and we say hello to you, and our one and our only Wellbot is in the house. How you guys doing?
Besides Rob and Minnesota Maker, what's up?
Sweet.
Okay, so here's pretty much what happened today was, theoretically speaking, we have one more week, which is 2 classes plus lab period, until we have to have our little gravity cars done for class. So our instructor pretty much goes, okay, so how many people have their vehicle like ready to be finished, like, most of the way done? I'm the only guy that puts my hand up. So as always, he looks at me and goes, oh, only one person. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, great. Oh, not me again, making an idiot of myself in front of the class. Yippee. Totally what I needed. So I was like, okay, you know what? My vehicle's near done. I just have a little bit of finishing work to do. It won't be ideal, but I pretty much was like, you know what? There are literally people who have to have their CAD model done before they can.
Calvin, are you there, Calvin? Guys, let me know if that was Calvin that just dropped or if it was me that just dropped. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? It was Calvin. Calvin, we will miss you. I knew that drive-by had happened eventually, and apparently they got you. What's bad is he's probably still talking right now, thinking he's still alive. But let me hit him up real quick. See if we can get him back. Make sure he's all right. Oh, his internet died. Okay, so he's alive. It's just the internet that died. They hit the laptop. Oh goodness. Let's see if we can get him back. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to come back or not. He just dropped out that time completely. Well, while we're waiting for Calvin to make a resurrection here. Uh-oh, here we go. There he is. Yes.
I'm on.
Okay,
I swear, recently the Xfinity Wi-Fi out here has been really bad.
We thought the drive-by happened and knocked you out.
No, I'm on the Xfinity Wi-Fi, but recently it's been really, really, really crappy. So I'm gonna blame that.
Yeah, we thought that they're rolling on dubs and blasted you over on. I don't think they have any rap songs from stinking Daly City, do they?
Not that I know of. No.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4". Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Jocking the B words.
No, either Chrome locked up on me or the Wi-Fi died. I'm not sure which one.
Or both.
Probably. I don't know. No, but how far into my story did I get before I died?
I forget. You got about as far as starting the pre-story, I think. Oh yeah, it was about you raised your hand and the instructor said something, and about that time went.
Okay, so before the Wi-Fi craps out again, which if it does it again, I'm just gonna bail. But what happened was we have very little time to theoretically get our project done. And the instructor's trying to put the fear of God in people like, look, if you're doing this for real, you can kiss your job or that bonus or whatever goodbye. And nobody's taking him seriously. So he goes, okay, after my whole, being ready, he goes, okay, so what should we do? And I raise my hand. He goes, yeah, Calvin. I go, maybe you should just like beat people up with your wooden pointer stick or something if they don't get it. And he's just standing there grinning, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, you didn't just go there. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be a really great way to make everybody remember, don't be late on the project.
That would. Are you there?
Yeah, sorry. It just keeps... You know what? I'm going to kill a video on my end and see if that helps.
Ewan says, get the splooge out of the Wi-Fi card.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Okay, now it's working better. I don't think it can handle two-way video, but it doesn't really matter because you can't really see my ugly mug anyways.
Actually, we can, because there's a picture of you holding a maker coin.
Yeah, but you can't see it live.
No, but we see this round thing like coming out from it. It's like your aura or something, It's your aura. I seen it.
No, Ron, don't try and pop me off my own show. That's not cool, dude.
He wants it to be called the Ron and Jimmy Show. That's what he wants.
Oh heck no! This is the C-Dub and Jimmy G Show, once and for all.
This is the C-Dub still pick with the rings coming around it.
No, so to make it even better, what happened was in class, I gone to Home Depot the day before and bought some steel. Body is made out of 1/4 inch wood. to help students practice with. And yeah, I think I keep freezing up on you.
You are. You keep freezing up. You might have to get closer to that Wi-Fi signal.
The computer says it's at 4 bars.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Xfinity Wi-Fi lately has been absolute rubbish. But I don't want to use my phone because that just eats up my data. Not that I have unlimited data, but then when it reaches a certain point, then they start to slow it down.
Hey, red light's out. Have a good one, red light.
Peace out.
He's streaming from a drive through his speaker.
I might as well.
That's what it looks like, dude. Might as well.
Oh my gosh.
This is horrible, man.
Oh, I know.
Oh, goodness.
Sorry, guys. It's not my fault the Wi-Fi is really bad.
How about if you turn off your Wi-Fi?
Then I have no internet.
You don't have any signal on your cell phone?
I do, but it eats through the data that I've got.
Ah. Sounds like you're still going down on your fruit.
Yeah. I mean, let me just pop it on for a second. I won't kill anything. This is ridiculous. Give me a second. My
all of a sudden, we're going to hear
Okay, now I'm connected through my phone. Is that any better?
Yeah, at least we can see you. Now we don't just see a round thing with like the aura coming from it.
Oh gosh.
TK says gobble gobble. It sounds like he has one of those matrix bugs going down his mouth.
So you want me to continue my story before we kill this stream with fire?
Yeah, go ahead. I was waiting for you to keep on telling it, but then you kind of like froze up and didn't want to say nothing no more.
That's because I could tell the internet kept freezing up on me.
Oh, okay.
So, so what happened is I bought some steel because I knew that there were a lot of, like, almost everybody in that class has zero, and I mean zero, welding experience. And we're supposed to weld either with a giant, big old spot welder that can do up to like 3/8 inch thick steel. I kid you not, this thing's like a relic from World War II. Or we're supposed to MIG weld it. Well, I have a lot of MIG welding experience, and a lot of people's designs have to be MIG welded because of their complexity. So I actually went ahead and bought some steel rod that I cut up into little segments so I could kind of stick the two rods together and people could practice welding on them. Well, literally, I spent like the whole 3 hours plus of class time literally teaching everybody how to weld, everybody who needed help in that class how to weld. And 95% of everybody was like super like thrilled that I was helping. And then there was this like one total jerk who's like, oh, I just want to watch you weld, watch me weld. I'm like, okay, fine, I don't care. Does like a terrible job, and I go to get some like, oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to help you in the future very much because you seem to know everything. Bug off. Who's the next person who really wants my help who's nice? But no, I mean, my instructor at the end came on over and he's like, I heard from everybody that you were helping out with the welding. I'm like, oh, yeah. He goes, thank you. I'm like, you're welcome.
So why are they on the welding class if they don't know how to weld?
It's part of the class because the first project we do is we build a little gravity car. I don't know what the other two projects are, but yeah, it's kind of stupid that we're in a class where none of the prerequisites that are even recommended for the program are even remotely welding. And I'm trying to tell people, if you really want to learn welding, why don't you know, go check out City College's welding program. I can vouch for it. It's really good. It's just it's very hard to get into because it's extremely popular. But I kid you not, this is the kind of BS that I go through in the school system that I think I'm going to try and talk to the office about it and tell them it's a safety issue, having people in the classroom that know absolutely nothing about welding, or at least roll actual welding into like the lab safety class, or offer a class dedicated just to learning how to weld. Because letting people loose on a welder who have no experience with the welder is just asking for trouble.
Yeah, if you can call MIG welding welding.
Yeah.
7018 vertical and overhead. Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to TIG weld my frame, but I kind of was told, no, we're going to use the MIG welder. I'm like, fine. So my vehicle's not as pretty as I wanted, but compared to some people's, it's a lot better. Because the sad thing is, it's like, for the few people who've tried welding without any knowledge, when I showed them how to do it properly, they're like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. I'm like, yeah, if you know what you're doing with a welder, it's actually not that hard to do. Like, they understood the concept of aim the wire where I want the weld be, but the problem is they didn't have it set right. They had to stick out like way too long. Instead, because we're doing gas, you needed about, you know, 1/4 to maybe 3/8 of an inch maximum. You know, you need that thing close. We're not doing flux where you actually want a long distance. And, you know, you get where I'm going. And it's like, once I showed them how to do that and explain, you know, if you hear that really sharp sizzle, that's a good sound. This is a decent weld. Then they're all like, oh, that's really simple. But it's like just trying to get them to have enough confidence in the 5 or 10 minutes that they were with me in there was kind of hard. But it's like, you could tell those who really wanted to learn it and those who were just trying to slap it together for the sake of slapping it together. But it was kind of frustrating that there's a lot of people who want to learn more. But the problem is we just don't have the resources on campus to do it. And it's not a recommended prerequisite. And it's like, come on, guys, you know, I know not everywhere is going to offer a class. Put it down as a suggestion that you take a welding course. It's just really good. Even if I tell people, even if you never weld again in your life, if you're a designer and you understand how welding is, that is all you need to know.
The sad part is they probably learned all their welding from watching OCC.
Probably. And honestly, I think I'm going to put together a playlist of really good welding videos that I've watched that have helped me, and then email them to the instructor and be like, hey, you might want to put these up on like the little iLearn page for the course and be like, look, here's some really good welding videos for if somebody wants to learn how to do welding. There's some very, very good videos out there on the basics of how to MIG weld, you know, things to look for, this and that. So at least people can do basic troubleshooting of this is why it's, you know, working this way and that way, you know, but oh well.
Main thing is to make them a little bit scared of it so they know not to be staring at the arc while somebody's doing the actual welding.
Yeah,
I guarantee you had people behind you going.
Actually, we're in kind of an enclosed off area that has like those red safety screens. But okay. Yeah, whenever somebody was welding, I'd always try and position myself in such a way that even if someone was looking through the screen, I was blocking most of the potential light that would be coming through with my body. Because yeah, I don't trust these dimwits. Literally, we had to take a semester-long safety class, and I swear to God, there are still people in there who don't wear their safety glasses. I'm about ready to start getting real snippy at people next class if they're still running around in there and I'm in there and they don't have their safety glasses on. I'm sending them out until they come back with them on because I'm getting fed up with it.
You know what? You're not the instructor. And if somebody loses an eye, that'll wake everybody up.
Yeah, but then the only problem is if we have an accident in there, it can shut down the lab for at least a day, if not 2 or more, while they're conducting.
It honestly sounds like the lab needs to be shut down.
It does. I hate to say it, but it does, because I'm literally in there with my safety glasses on. I'm wearing, when I'm welding, I'm wearing a full leather jacket. I'm wearing my Nomex hood. I'm wearing my welding respirator with welding cartridges. I have all the ventilation going, and I'm trying, you know, gloves and face mask and everything when appropriate. And everybody's like, well, you have a lot of safety gear. I'm like, no, I really don't. This is just common sense right here. Yes, the Nomex hood is probably a little bit overkill, But it's not a bad idea because welding does throw a lot of sparks, and because our table is so low, we have to like hunch over to do anything. And my biggest fear is sparks landing in somebody's hair and burning their head or potentially catching their hair on fire. I mean, it's like, you know, you get where I'm going. Yeah, it's a little bit overkill, but it's better than getting burned. That just sucks.
Just like when I was in school, the friend of mine, he was a stoner. Let's just face it. He was a stoner. He always hung out across the street and smoked. He did marijuana, everything else he could do. But he was in wood shop. He had long hair. You know, he was one of these rocker guys. He's always listened to like the heavy metal back in the day. This back in the late 80s, early 90s. And this guy goes into the shop halfway stoned, goes to cut something, and goes, cuts his finger off. So, needless to say, they didn't have any more accidents after that because everybody was like, oh, we got to take this serious. Yeah, you can cut things off with a saw, can't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, true story. I think it was his index finger. My dad actually took out part of his index finger running a table saw. And mind you, he's a very safety conscious person, but stuff happens. A couple $1,000s later at the very nice local emergency room, doctored his finger up. Thankfully, it didn't hit the bone and it kind of blew out the skin on the side. But still, I mean, it was gnarly, you know. So
yeah, TK, that's anytime you're doing welding overhead, it's freaky because if that drops, oh man, I've had it drop down, like I said, down the back of your shirt. As long as it's got something to just roll off of, you're usually all right. It's when it sets. That's when it will just burn.
I still vote the worst is like either flux or stick rod slag because that, unlike molten metal, which tends to be actually somewhat fluid and doesn't want to stick to things while it's still hot, that stuff's just like liquid napalm. Whatever it sticks on, it sticks to it. Like it wants to weld to it. So yeah, those are the worst. But a trick.
I'll tell you another thing too is if you're ever welding rusty metal or cutting it with a cutting torch and you get any of that on you, it will burn you way faster and way easier than if you're doing it with new metal. If you're doing it with new metal, you can get it on your arm and it'll roll right down your arm and it won't even burn you. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Leon's saying I can give y'all nightmares of the stories from my dad and the steelworks. Oh yeah, I can totally imagine. I mean, let's just face it, you have a giant vat of ridiculously hot metal that would love to burn through a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, what can possibly not go wrong with that?
And there's always that one guy that knows everything, that's going to take and do things the wrong way just for giggles, and eventually it catches up to him.
Oh yeah.
Man, you're going down on that bottle, man.
I'm almost done with that.
You're going to be drinking the juice here in a moment.
Oh, yeah.
But we've seen your tongue going up in there. Ah.
Oh, gosh.
You're going to look like that guy from Kiss. Licking the bottle at the bottom of the jar.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
So is my giant format, I can't decide if I want to work on it or kill it with fire 3D printer still down there?
Yeah, it's still here. Still in pieces.
Nice. Yeah, my hope is my strategy when I come down on the weekend is I need to see if I can get the thing operational reliably. I'm going to work on finishing up the wiring, throwing the thing in my car when I go down to Southern California, and be done with it. If I can't, I'm probably going to keep it up there, try and work on the thing more, and then take it down. But one way or another, I need to figure out what to do with the stupid thing because I want to get it going. It's just because now I have a job, I don't have time.
What's the story with the sticks? I kid you not. There's like little tree branches with rubber bands.
Oh, which machine? What the heck?
Okay, I think it was holding the foam on the corner of it.
That'd be what my dad did when he totally over-engineered putting a printer in my car. You know, that's a very rare specimen right there, dude. That's a Chinese home brand from my parents' house. You gotta treat that thing with some respect.
There's your problem. Yeah, what's up with the red lights in your car?
That's my keyboard backlight.
You know there is going to be a cop come by there eventually thinking that you are a hooker.
You want to know something funny?
Sir, move along. The red light district is about 20 miles north from here.
The funny thing is, literally right around the corner from where I'm at is one of the impound lots for San Francisco. Yeah, it's interesting. You'll get some really nice looking cars in there, and you get like totally the Walter White, Jesse Pinkman meth van rolling by as well. You're like, is that thing gonna blow up tonight?
Oh man. So I took Beth to the eye doctor today.
How'd that go?
Actually, is better than she thought. She was afraid that she was having the macular degeneration. Turns out that within 5 years after you have a lens replacement for cataract surgery, the inner lens usually needs to be perforated with a laser. So they set her up for laser surgery in a couple weeks.
Oh, cool.
So that's going to be according to them, it's an easy fix. It's a matter of like 10 minutes and you're done.
My grandmother's had cataract surgery years ago, and they've had to do that as well to her. And it didn't, mind you, grandma has crappy vision to begin with, but it did help at least improve it a bit, even though it's still sadly kind of on the decline. But yeah, it definitely can help. I mean, it's not as entailed as full-blown cataract surgery, which is just like, oh, no, I'm good.
Yeah, according to him, once they do it, the vision comes right back like it was back when they first did the surgery. So
that sounds about right.
He's very hopeful about it. The only question now is how long it will be before the other eye does it, or will it do it at all? He said 40% of everybody that has it has to have the laser surgery done within 5 years.
That makes sense. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think it was a little bit after that for grandma, but I know what you mean.
How long did she have hers done?
Oh gosh, like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but mind you, grandma's also the kind of person who won't tell you anything until like way after the fact. And then I think it was she probably told my mom years later, my vision's not as good as it used to be. Oh, let's go to the eye doctor, Grandma. No, I'm fine. Okay. Let's go to the eye doctor. Okay, fine, let's go. Oh, my vision's so much better. Well, you should have gone years ago. But that's Grandma for you. That's Grandma's problem.
What's this? No, it's Calvin's new documentary, Who Let the Dodgers Out?
And you want to know something funny? About a minute ago, a cop car just went up the street and didn't care.
Yeah, the cataract surgery, that was the hardest part. It was mainly because of the eye drops. The surgery itself was a fairly easy thing for her. It was the eye drops afterward, because you have to do it for, I forget if it's a week or 2 weeks. And you got to do it like 3 times a day, and it's just, you have to follow it to a T or it can cause you problems. That and the eye drops going to there, because we'd have to stop like 3 or 4 times on the way to town to put the drops in so it'd be numb and fully dilated and everything for the surgery.
Oh man. Yeah, I know it was years and years ago that grandma had cataract surgery, because I know my mom had to, it was like the beginning of when my mom would start to fly up before I lived there to look after go up maybe like once every 3 months to look after grandma, or if she needed something done, she going up there and do that. So yeah, that was probably about 10 years ago, I'm gonna guess, at least.
Yeah.
But no, that's good though, because definitely anything with your eye is definitely scary. It's like my friend Scott in Walnut Creek. He has, I think it's macular degeneration in one of his eyes, and if it isn't for like monthly injections, his vision would just be like this giant red blob in one eye, which is ironic because if you look at the models that he makes, they're absolutely incredible. But I think it's because he can compensate with one eye over the other.
Man.
Where it's like my old neighbor that used to live right next door to my grandmother's, he had really bad vision for years, and he, understandably so, he was really nervous about getting it operated on because obviously there is always that risk that it could go wrong and leave you blind. But he eventually got surgery because his eyesight was so bad for so many years. His brain had like rewired itself effectively. And the crazy thing was, he was telling me like it took him like about a week or two to literally stop seeing double because his brain wasn't trying. It was like, he said it was really freaky, but after the fact, he was really happy that he had it done because then he could see a lot better again.
Yeah. I was just like when Beth had her eyes were really bad when she had her cataract surgery. So they did the one eye and then they had to wait 1 month before they could do the second eye. And in that month, you know, she had one eye that was really good and she had one eye that was really bad and couldn't wear glasses because it threw off the good eye. So she, you know, got kind of used to having the one good eye and the one bad eye. And so it compensated. So it took her like nearly, I think it was about 4 or 5 days before things got straightened out when they did the other eye.
Yeah, that's pretty common. I mean, it's like with me and my knee, for me, it feels like I'm walking normally, but when somebody really watches how I walk, I definitely have a limp. It's just, to me, I'm so used to walking a certain way to compensate for it. It feels normal, but it's not truly a normal walking gait.
Did you read this from TK that he had one eye ripped out when the socket when he was 16?
Yeah,
How's the vision on it now?
That's just like untold stories of the ER level stuff right there.
Yeah. They put it back, so I'm guessing that he's got vision in it, hopefully.
Hopefully. I don't know. The dude still makes some crazy models, even if he is a one-eyed super duper good model maker. But sheesh.
2019 after. Wow. That's lucky.
That is insane, dude.
Wow, they did a great job on you then to get you back to 2019. That's not bad at all.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
That's like nothing short of miraculous. Holy crap. So I was going to ask, knowing that you have captive tubes on your A10, how would you say it compares to the original tubes that came on?
The regular tubes?
Yeah, how do the captives compare to that?
I honestly don't notice a difference. The only thing I'm hoping for is the portion that's down in the heat block isn't getting that sticky, deteriorated type feel to it.
Got it. I'm only curious because Ashley got some captive tubes for her A10, and she wasn't 100% sure. You couldn't tell if it was more or less because she also got one of the E3D nozzle X's. If it was just a combination of both, if it made a lot of difference or not. For me, I just can't justify the price of it, to be honest.
Yeah, what I need to do is I need to print a few more things with it. Then I need to just pull the tube out and just see if there's actually a legitimate difference on the end of it. If it is still smooth, no stickiness to it whatsoever, it doesn't look burnt, then I'm going to say it's better than the PTFE. But if it's all sticky, if it's looks burnt, then I would say just stick with the cheaper stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean, I don't see her really printing. She might do a little bit of stuff in, say, NGen, but even that, you're only running it at 235, so you're not anywhere near the peak temperature of PTFE.
Yeah.
The idea that I had was, I know glass-filled PTFE lasts a lot longer than regular PTFE, So I was actually thinking of getting a short segment of glass-filled PTFE, and machining it into like maybe 1 centimeter long segments that you put into the hot end that acts kind of like a buffer zone between the PTFE tubing and the hot end itself. And it's not going to last forever, but at least it makes a disposable insert that you can put in there. Or the other thought that I had was there's this, it's kind of, at this point, you're better off just buying an all metal hot end. But there's this really nice material called Vespel, which will do 260C continuous without breaking down. You can just put a tiny little chip of that, and you might even be able to find someone making one for like an Ultimaker that you could probably trim down to make it fit in there. But the idea is that acts as an insulator between the Teflon tube and the hot end. So in theory, you could run really hot without degrading. But it's all ideas at this point. But I think at my parents' house, I do have some glass-filled PTFE that I might try building that insert with. But we'll see. Right now, I'm still trying to work on the Y splitter for the A10M to make it the A10 quote Y.
What you need to do is you need to hit up GTEC and say, how much would that new hot end that you're getting ready to put on that A30M going to, how much would one of those cost? Have you seen that?
I've seen a few like external photos of, but I really haven't seen it like teardown or anything like that.
They have that new Y that's a Y-shaped hot end that they're going to be putting on the A30M. And I saw the picture of that. I'm like, ooh, please, please, please let me try that one out.
I'm really curious to see if the new Y design actually does better color mixing than just the straight 90s of, because that was the comment that I made in my video about the A10M, is the straight 90s of the mixing head, it works, but then it doesn't, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it'll make a huge difference, because the way that the heat block is set up on the A10 and A20M, when you do the retraction on the one, it's not pulling it from the nozzle, it's pulling it from the heat block, right?
Right.
So the mixing portion of it doesn't seem like it would do that great, where by having it with the Y going straight to the nozzle makes a whole lot more sense.
Ditto. And it also just makes sense from a junk not building up in like the sharp corner standpoint as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like I said in my video, the mixing is cool, but to me it's more of a, oh look, it's cool feature. I mean, it works for doing two colors independently and do that decently, but like I said, I can't get the thing to reliably do a soluble support material. So that was my big thing, is I really was hoping that it would be a machine that you could actually do soluble supports with. I was like, wow, if this thing can do soluble supports, this would really open up the train community. But that's now why I'm looking at the Y splitter, because then at least I can hopefully get it to do one at a time, but I need to work on that eventually. Oh my gosh, really?
Ewan wins.
Oh, that's wrong.
Oh goodness.
But
he
the other
totally would, Ewan, he totally would too.
Oh,
like,
God.
please. Sound like one of those anime things on the internet.
They're just wrong. So do you play? So where do you place your bets on me putting that? And I'm genuinely curious to see what happens on me putting that insulation material underneath the heated bed. I'm gonna do it on both my A10 and my Ultimaker 2, just because I figure it's not a bad idea to have it on both. Do you think that will make a drastic difference in the heat up time of the bed? Yes or no?
Yes, it will.
I think so too.
Because that's what the Artillery 3D's got underneath it. It's got that. It's like a neoprene that's underneath it, and that thing heats up like super quick.
Yeah, that's what
Now,
I'm
with
thinking.
that said, it is a 110 bed too.
Yeah. Well, the Ultimaker uses a 24-volt bed as well, but that thing will hit 80 degrees C in like under 5 minutes. It takes my A10M at least 10 minutes to hit that from like 15 degrees C.
Yeah.
I mean,
mean,
that's
that almost kind of sounds like the power supply is getting weak on it.
I think so. I'm thinking I might just switch out the power supply on it because I still have the 24-volt one that I bought a long time ago for it. But
You know what you could do is you could actually take a voltmeter, put on it, and find out if it's actually pumping out 24 volts. And if not, you could, should be a little screw on it down by where the connectors are, where you can actually turn up the voltage a little bit.
I'm going to do that. I'm pretty darn sure it's close to 24 volts. I just think part of the problem is the power supply on it just is not powerful enough to drive it, because when I try and get the thing to go to 100, when I was trying to do the ABS test, well, the main reason why I wanted to do ABS is because there are people who do try and print in ABS. So to offer a more, more helpful advice, I'm like, well, let me just try printing an ABS on the thing. But literally the cooling fan on that poor power supply, the whole time it was trying to hit, and even when it runs at 80 degrees C, that poor fan is running literally nonstop on that power supply, and it's just dumping a hot air the whole time. I'm like, that's not good.
But at the same time, you're talking about a unit that's got PTF tubing going all the way down to the hot end, which means it's not really intended for ABS.
No.
If it had an all metal hot end, yes, it would be intended for ABS. But the design of these printers, that's asking a lot for it to reach those temperatures without just cooking the machine.
Yeah. Well, I don't think 80 degrees C on the bed and being the engine prints at 235 is pushing things at all. But I know what you mean, though. Yeah. I mean, I'm just more or less doing it because there are those stubborn people in the chat, in the forum, who are like, I'm going to this and that. And it's like, well, it's not smart, but if you are going to do it, here's the risks and here's how to,
I'm so over that forum, man. I am so over that forum. My goodness. One person puts stinking acetone on his bed and wonders why it's peeling up. It's like, why would you put acetone on your bed? And then others are saying that they believe that he didn't take the plastic off the bed, that was the plastic covering that comes on the printer, that person left the plastic on there and put the acetone on it.
No, that's not going to dissolve that plastic.
It's like, how many times do people have to say use isopropyl alcohol? Just use rubbing alcohol. How many times do people have to say it and then, oh, I put gasoline on my bed and it did this or that, or I put but what's the most like stinking muriatic acid on it, or I did this and I don't understand why it's not sticking no more. Oh, golly gee, I wonder. It's that point where you just want to say, you're right, you've got a huge issue here. You've got a huge issue. What you need to do is package it back up in the box and send it back. And what should the reason be? You're an idiot. You don't need the printer.
And Keith, aka Kig, over at Protopasta, we're talking about that, and I'm seriously going to put together a video that's titled "Dear People Who Want to Get into 3D Printing," and I'm just going to lay it out straight. Here is the honest to God reality of 3D printing, and here is what you need to be willing and able to learn how to do. And if you can't do this, I'm just being honest. Maybe getting into 3D printing at this point is not your best idea.
What you need to do before you buy a 3D printer is spend one day and go on YouTube and type in the words 3D and then printer and hit enter. And you'll watch a few videos and you might actually learn how these things work. Instead of going, oh my God, I got a 3D printer. How come I can't print all the things? Okay, what do you know about it? Oh, I got a 3D printer.
That's exactly the point that I'm trying to make. I mean,
what do you mean I can't use Weed Whacker line? What? I went to Home Depot. I went to Lowe's. I got the right stuff. It's blue.
We seriously just need to collab on this video on Saturday, and you can play the dimwit who doesn't know anything, and I'll just play the voice of reason. It'll be great. No, but the point is, I mean, literally in the kit.
I don't understand why it won't come on. I don't understand. I've been looking at this plug all day long, and it just won't turn on. See? I don't understand this. What do you mean I gotta plug it in? Oh, it won't fit in the USB port. What do you mean I need to plug it in?
I kid you not.
I can't get this to fit into the auxiliary port on my computer. It won't fit into it.
I kid you not, in the kit that me and Scott are working on, and I'll have to literally dig up the instructions at some point when they go public and send it to you guys. Literally, in the instructions, we say, if you are unable or unwilling to learn how to, paint a model, drill holes, glue stuff, and do a couple of other little things, feel free to box this, package this back up and send it back to us within 14 days of purchase. And granted, you haven't done anything to it, for a full refund of your money, no questions asked. And we're dead serious when we say that. I mean, if you are willing to learn how to do the steps involved to build this, you're more than welcome to send it back to us. And we're going to have the instructions public, and we're going to have the video on how to do it. And maybe we're going to have that disclaimer in there that, look, if you're not willing to learn what's involved to build this, you probably just shouldn't buy it and go watch another video. But if you really want to learn, let's carry on. And we're serious, The
G-Tech forum has gotten so bad that one of the moderators quit. I kid you not. One of the moderators this week said, out.
I don't blame them. You want to know how much crap I got over the video that I posted where I didn't say, thou shalt use these numbers, but I said these were what I calculated for my machine, and they're a very, very close estimate to what your machine used, what my machine used, and what a lot of other people are using. It's like you're 99% of people, if you're getting it within 5% extrusion accuracy, they ain't going to give a crap about it. And I've got every Tom, Dick, and Harry jumping down my throat going, you should post the numbers in there. I'm like, look, I gave a link on people if they want to take the time to calculate it themselves, but most novices aren't even going to know how to do that. They're just going to want to look for the right number ballpark, and we're done. Done. Whoa.
TK right there says, the first thing I looked up was how to manual level a bed. And I'll bet you found video after video saying you take a sheet of paper, you stick it on the bed, you hit the home button, and you move the nozzle across your bed and you adjust it. And something about that confuses the bejesus out of people. It's, oh my God. Well, is that A4 paper? No. It's just regular typing paper or printer paper. It's just regular paper. It's 20-pound weight. A4 is a size, not a weight. Pull your head out of and come on. Get a piece of typing paper. Oh, do I use cardstock? No, I said typing paper. Printer paper. Oh, well, I got this 36-pound. Okay, well, you know what? I got filler gauges. Okay, so you're going to take the most slick piece of metal that you could possibly get, and you're going to put on there, and you're going to tighten it as much as you want, and it's still going to move just as free as it can because there's no resistance because it's slick.
I mean, honestly, when I showed Ashley how easy it was to level a bed, she looks at me and goes, why don't people get this? I'm like, because people are stupid. There's your short answer. I mean,
I asked Josh because Josh kept saying, I can't get this bed level. It just keeps changing. I said, okay, question. Did you tighten down the bed until the springs are about halfway compressed? And he says, no, they're almost to the top. I said, take your Z-stop. First, pull down your bed, pull it down until it's almost halfway. Take your Z-stop and drop it down about that much. If it's 1, 2, 3, 4 millimeters, drop it down that far and then rehome it and see where it's at. If you compress those springs, you might see a huge difference. Ever since he's done that, I don't think he has had to level it once because now the springs are compressed. You know, you can get by with really tall springs on a printer that's got the really thick springs. But on these printers that's got the really fine springs, you have to compress those springs or they're going to take and they're going to change with the heat of the bed.
Yeah, TK does make a good point that certain things sometimes do need to level in. Yeah, I do agree with that. Definitely, you know, things are going to be, for lack of a better term, working themselves in. But at the same time, I do agree with Jimmy. If you saw how stiff the springs are on my Ultimaker 2, those things are literally stiff as heck, and it doesn't need much gap. But yeah, I mean, it's like, that's just like a little thing that I feel like I need to put together into like a little tips and tricks video for the machines going, look, you know, here's a little lesser known tip, but if you're having a lot of problems leveling your bed, scrunch those springs down to at least half compression, and now they're going to actually have enough force behind them that it's not going to go all the time on you.
Like Michael says, hardened steel feeler gauge and a soft brass nozzle.
What can possibly go wrong? This is like when
that's the equivalent of using Vaseline. It's just going to slip right through.
You know, it's like, in a way, it's like when, and it's something that we could all be guilty of doing. So I'm not saying it, you know, you couldn't do it yourself, but like when supposedly Sean snipped the end off his nozzle, which is doable, using the side cutters to clean his nozzle, which I've done, but I don't like try and chop the end off. I just use it to drag it, which is probably still not the best, but whatever, shoot me. You know, it can happen, but it's just kind of like,
it might happen.
Yeah.
You go ahead. But the snipping of the nozzle?
Yeah. Well, especially on the nozzles where it goes to the really, really sharp point, unlike the E3Ds that have that big flat area, you know, yeah, it's totally doable.
I'm the type where I don't like taking anything metal to my nozzle. Oh God, that sounds so dirty. Anyway, I'll stick a piano wire up it. Oh God, this is getting even worse. This is that time of night where I need to just quit while I'm ahead. But anyway, I stick a piece of metal piano wire up into it. That's about as much as I will do because I'm afraid if you take a drill bit to it, you'll waddle it out, make it bigger than it's supposed to be. Yeah, totally demonetized. But at the same time, I can't bring myself to take nippers to my hot end. I might take something like a screwdriver and just like drag something off of it, but I'm not going to take. Usually, the most I will do is I will take my fingers and not grab the nozzle, but grab the plastic and pull it away from it. I try my best never to take nippers or pliers and stick in there and grab hold of that nozzle if I can get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, when I can, I'll just use like a paper towel or something to wipe it off. I won't heat the nozzle up to all the way, but if it's PLA or something, I'll heat it up to about 120, 130 C, where it's going to get warm enough that you can peel it off without burning the crap out of your fingers. So, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's like cleaning the tip on a soldering iron, you know.
Jimmy can't risk gaping those holes.
Nobody likes a blown out nozzle.
Nope, blown out nozzle just go all over. Yeah, anytime you get to the point where your nozzle's blown out, it's just hard to control it. It just goes all over the place. And that's what's the problem that Sean had, right?
Yeah. It was just all over the place, you know.
All over the place. Had lines all over.
Well, I still love it in the video with Moon City on the Sidewinder when you had to admit on camera begrudgingly, Calvin was right, I was wrong. Oh, that's like one of the best moments that will have to make its way into like the best moments of 2019 video. Jimmy admits Jimmy was wrong. I was just sitting there with this smug look on my face like, oh, heck yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at me. I know everything. Oh, my gosh.
Andy Outdoor Nerd, Darren says he uses a copper brush on his nozzle. That's the best way of doing it. That way, you got a soft metal against a soft metal. It'll all be good.
Well, the one thing I will say is E3D actually recommends against using any kind of abrasive brush on their nozzle excess because it will wear the coating off, which is not covered under warranty, which is fair. But I guess because it is a much more slick surface, it'll actually, you know, it one tries to resist stuff, but two, it supposedly comes off a lot easier.
Even
So
says gaping holes leads to excess leakage. That's correct. And the bigger the blob, the better the job.
yeah, no, I mean, okay, what's your take on the new E3D nozzle versus the Micro Swiss? Because I'm trying to decide which one I want to get for the A10.
I honestly haven't paid any attention. I have not seen any prints from it yet.
Neither have I. Ashley has one, but I don't think she's really used it for very much because she was out of the country for a little bit. But I'm curious to see how it behaves because it is the hardened steel temperature-wise, but it is tempting being that it has that non-stick coating on it, especially if I'm going to do nastier things like PVA that I don't want sticking in the nozzle.
Well, I can tell you for a fact, a hardened steel nozzle prints really good because Josh has had one on his print now for a few weeks, and he swears by the thing. Because before he got that, he was having clogs all the time, and he replaced that nozzle with that hardened steel. He has not had a clog since.
Well, the reason why I'm tempted to, well, I'm actually thinking about grabbing one of the Nozzle X's for my Ultimaker is because they sell them down into a 0.25 nozzle diameter. Micro Swiss doesn't go below 0.4, and a lot of the train prototyping that I do requires a 0.25 nozzle. And I found that the cheap brass ones, because they're so rough inside, they'll literally just plug up to the point that it's not worth trying to clean out. So I'm seriously tempted to grab one of those in a 0.25 for prototyping on my own stuff on the Ultimaker, because now what the Ultimaker does a lot of is prototyping before it goes to the Moai, because then we can check things and all that good stuff. So that's tempting.
I have been very happy with my Micro Swiss nozzles. I've been very happy with them, but I do know they have their limitations because they are a brass nozzle that's got a coating on it.
Yeah.
That's no comparison to a hardened steel nozzle that's got a coating on it. So I could see the hardened steel lasting a long time, and I could see where the price difference, because of the length of time it would last, I could see it.
Well, the main reason why I'm interested in the Nozzle X for the Ultimaker is only because it does go down to the 0.25, and I do know that plated nozzles, especially in a smaller diameter, have a lot better flow than a coated one. So for that reason, I'm really tempted to get either a 0.25 or a 0.3. Probably just go with the 0.3 because it's a little easier to print with. But yeah, that is the reason why I'm tempted to get one. But we'll see. I mean, the reality is I haven't used both my printers very much because I've been so busy with other stuff, and the train project on the Moai is kind of taking all my time right now. But yeah.
Ewan says the copper nozzles are best for smaller than 0.4 nozzles. The airbrush adapter nozzles should be here soon. Ooh, I can't wait to see that gaping hole. Who's going to place bets on that tip's going to come out and it's just going to have big old toothpaste looking stuff coming out?
Yep.
That might be interesting, though.
That would be. Well, speaking of big nozzle, I'm going to have to stick a 0.6 or a 0.8 on my, of which I think I have one on my Ultimaker, because Danielle wants me to make some really cool, I'm going to do them in Matterhacker's Build PETG, some really cool like ice and fire themed prints for a friend's bridal shower. And then I picked up a Circuit Playground Express, which is that little circular thing that Adafruit sells. It's got like an accelerometer, a tilt sensor, a microphone, a light sensor, a couple of other doodads built into this little $25 circuit. It's got light up stuff around the outside, supposedly really easy to program. So I picked up one of those off work on my way out today. So I've wanted to have one just to mess around with for various train projects and stuff, because I was thinking it'd be cool to kind of come up with like an automation system where, you know, if the train pulls over this sensor, it opens the doors, or I don't know, fun things like that, or come up with like a randomized timer circuit for a little shuttle train or things like that. But I figured, great excuse to pick one up for that project. So I need to work on doing some clear prints in that. So I just put the build series on order. So I should get that Wednesday or Thursday so I can start printing with that. But yeah, there's a good example of a bigger nozzle, but it doesn't need to be plated or anything because I'm just going to be doing some Vaz mode prints of some big old stuff. So we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah.
BV3D took off. Good night, my friend. He's got the right idea though, because that's getting to be that time of night.
For sure. And I got class tomorrow till like 9 o'clock.
Do you? What time you got to be there?
First class doesn't start till like 12:30.
My goodness.
Well, let's see. Today I have to be in class by 9:30 to about 12:30, and then I work from 3 to 7. Then tomorrow is school. Wednesday is the same, 9:30 to 12:30. Then I'm going to Walnut Creek afterwards to film some stuff with the Moai for kind of like the workflow of taking the model, doing the custom supports, putting it in the printer, print comes out. Because I did a video on that a long time ago, but it was really abbreviated. And now that I know a lot more, I feel like it's worth showing the true multi-step process, step by step by step by step, because there's a lot of people in the model training community who are really, being that Shapeways keeps jacking up their prices, are really looking at, you know, having someone else do their work for them or getting their own printer, which I don't blame them. So I need to get working on that. And then we're actually considering getting one of those Moai 200s that's got like an 8 by 8 by, I think it's like 10-inch theoretical build volume. I mean, this thing is over twice the build capacity of my current Moai. So I'm gonna have to talk to my friend about that. But I'm really thinking that, being that we're thinking about printing our own boilers and things like that for trains, and a lot of bigger stuff, I do think it wouldn't be a bad idea to look into a larger resin machine. But we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, there's some big stuff potentially coming down the pipeline, because my friend's going, we're going to need a second printer in here soon because we can't keep printing everything on one machine. I'm like, yeah, I can see that one from a mile away, but you know, we'll see.
So TK says you're a show off, Calvin.
Yep, sorry. On TK, on the 200, it's an FEP vat. On the regular Moai, it's PDMS or FEP. I run PDMS.
Well, Calvin, let's call it.
Sounds good.
We're going to live stream this weekend?
Yeah, let's live stream this weekend instead of doing it on Mondays, being that the internet and everything here is kind of on the fritz and things are getting a little crazy right now. I think I'm going to take a little hiatus from live streaming just for time reasons, but we'll see about that when it actually comes down to it. But then I've got spring break at the end of the month, so yeah, things are going to be a little crazy getting ready for that.
I'm working on a video. I started the video before the stream, so hopefully I have these inside the A10 here probably tomorrow. I think it's too late to mess with tonight, but probably tomorrow. I'll see about upgrading a couple of the drivers on the A10, see if it makes it any quieter.
TNMCs?
Yeah, these are the TMC 2208.
Nice.
Got these from a friend of mine that used to work for G-Tech, actually. She went to a different company now. So she asked me if I could check them out. So the next thing I got to do is I got to figure out how in the world I'm going to take a Noctua fan and get it set up for 24 volt.
I'll help you with that one.
Yeah, so that's the one because that one cooling fan on this thing is so loud that I think if we get that thing quieted down, I think it'll be a really nice quiet printer.
That sounds like a plan. Yeah, I've debated getting a Noctua, but then I'm like, it lives in the closet and it's going to my friend eventually who's going to have it inside of like a giant box. So noise isn't a huge issue, but I do want to get those silent drivers for the Ultimaker because it has some ancient drivers in that thing and it literally sounds like some ancient movie robot.
This printer's not horrible when it comes to that, but at the same time, I just want to see if it makes a difference. So, because if it makes it as quiet as that artillery, dude, and then it's just a matter of getting the old fans quieting down.
For me,
I know Chuck went and I think he put a Noctua on one of those printers, didn't he?
Yeah, but he also I think had to use a step down boost converter to drop it from 24 to 12 volts.
I wonder if those fans can handle 24 volt.
You'd probably over rev the crap out of it.
How about if you just put a dimmer on it?
You could, but that's effectively a boost converter at that point.
Is it? Yeah. I was trying to think of something small so that you're not having to put something large inside that area.
The boost converters are tiny. I'll send you a link to one in a little bit when we get off the stream.
Okay.
They're actually very tiny. They're actually what one of them lives inside the monitor that I shoot all my videos with, because I use a 7.4 volt battery, but then it steps the 7.4 volts up to 12, so I can drive the monitor, but I don't need a big old battery pack. I just have a tiny little one. Or Bill's saying an LM78112, which is a 12 volt regulator. That is an option, although they do get pretty hot, but you could always heat sink it to the top lid of the printer.
Yeah.
That is a possibility too.
Yeah, that's true.
I could always, you know what? I could always grab one on my way down to see you at like Fry's or something.
Yeah, but I gotta still come up with a fan for it.
Do they sell those at Fry's?
I don't think they have a Noctua that small.
Grab one on Amazon.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Because I'm thinking if I'm down there over the weekend and we can wrangle all the supplies, I'd be more than willing to help out with that, because that's something I have a fair bit of experience with.
Yeah. I think it'd be a pretty cool little project.
Ditto. I'm genuinely curious to see how quiet those drivers are, because I just haven't felt like forking over the $40 or $50 for new drivers for the Ultimaker. But the more that I think about it, it's like, why am I waiting? I should just do it.
So this kit right here with 2 drivers, 2 heat sinks, and a screwdriver is $15.99.
Dude, where at?
Amazon.
Link me.
I'll link you up, man.
Sounds good. Link me through your affiliate so you can get a little, like, 3 cents back.
That'd be like a penny, I think.
Oh, who gives a crap?
Okay, let's take off. Guys, thank you very much for joining. Have a great night. Take care. We will see you probably this weekend.
Sounds like it. Later.
Bye.
Bye.